Hello everybody out there and welcome to another Town of Salem gameplay video. We're going to go ahead and play another ranked game right here. We are going to play as Light Lady the Escort. And I'm going to be doing all the recording as usual in post. So from this point on, I will see you guys and be speaking to you from the perspective of after the game. So let's go with that. Alrighty, so welcome to the post commentary. Again, I do this to make sure that I can pay full attention to the game at hand, and this is a great example of a really solid game here that's just well played by most members. However, the jailer in this case is quite ridiculous, if I am to say so myself, and you'll see exactly why as this game goes on. It's something to keep your eye out for, certainly. Now, one thing I want to say about this game, just to kind of give you guys some insights as to what you're going to see, is you're going to see in this game some pretty awesome late game plays that are only available when it is that you have a solid grasp on what's going on. In particular, you're going to see a defense that is really, I think, well coordinated and may actually give you some good tips and suggestions as to how it is that you might have to defend yourself on the stand when you are town. So, with that being the case, Logarithm over here actually soft-claimed, kind of did a fake vet bait, and they got killed. It's a bummer because Investigator is a strong role for us to have right now, and it definitely makes me a little bit sad to see that this is the case. Now, there was no attacks last night, and so you kind of think to yourself maybe there might be an arsonist, but you're not sure necessarily. There could also be a werewolf, etc., or SK that hit immune. I've been doing this random town 1, 2, and 3 recently, and I'm not able to keep up with it well this game because there was so much fake claiming going on. But I do want to say that, you know, whenever you can keep track of the random town claims, you should try to do so because it really does help out in terms of trying to figure out what claims are left possible for people to pick, and towards the end of the game, this becomes very important indeed. So, yes, like I said, this is a ranked game, and we're going to get right along in here. I am an escort. An arsonist who I rollblocked said, I rollblocked twice. That's interesting. Vote for roll, No Nama says, and so people start voting on No Nama. I'm not going to vote on No Nama. Arsonist is pushing pretty hard on No Nama. I do think that that's pretty interesting. And he gets voted up. No Nama voted up to the stand. Alright, well, geez. That was quick. One of the reasons people don't like vote for roll, and people don't like people who suggest vote for roll, I personally think vote for roll hurts more than it helps. This person claims escort, night 1, blocked arson. So I have to CC here. I have to say something, because if I don't say something, then I'm going to get in trouble potentially later on. So I say ICC escort. Altier says probably consort, die idiot. And I say, George says CC escort? And I say, this could be escort, though. Yes, arsonist said they were roadblocked twice. So arsonist screams Inno, and I also blocked arsonist. Interestingly enough, we both blocked the same person. But it does appear like that person could be, in fact, consort, but they also could very easily be another escort. So I have no problem right there going ahead and Innoing that. I get jailed, which I think is silly, so I say escort as I claimed in chat. Because it's a bit of a waste of a night, really. There's nothing else about it other than the fact that, yeah, I claimed escort literally in chat yesterday. I CC'd and roadblocked arsonist on day 1. So I CC the person put on the stand. And I feel like this, it's possible that they are actually, there are 2 escorts, or if not, and then he goes to execute me. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I changed his mind. Oh, goodness gracious, you almost had me livid right there. I was about to be just like absolutely in arms. So I was jailed last night. Jailer doesn't know I could potentially be consort, or so could No Nama, who was put up yesterday, could potentially be consort. So I said jailed last night but not attacked. Mojake said roadblocked. Bitcoin claimed healed. So Bitcoin here is soft claiming that he was attacked and healed. Sam Paris says Mafia attacked, immune, or roadblock. Well, I didn't roadblock because I was jailed last night, but nor was I attacked in jail last night. And I want to make that clear because getting attacked in jail is a little bit suspicious, right? So Bitcoin claimed they were attacked and healed. At this point, though, there's nothing really that's telling us what's going on here. They could be attacked and healed. and they could just be actually a neutral killing. It's unlikely that they're actually Mafia, though. They could be, but it's unlikely. So I say Bitcoin wouldn't likely be Mafia, and Bitcoin said healed myself. Interesting. Excuse me. So I say Bitcoin could be arsonist. We haven't seen any sort of kills yet. No werewolf kill, no arsonist kill, no SK kill. So it seems like this might be likely to be right now an arsonist game. So I say, they could be arsonists, but there was no CCs. Nobody CC'd it, so I'm gonna say probably not. Let's probably just let them go for tonight and see what happens tomorrow. So at this point, it's all right. I don't think I want to block them necessarily because there was no CC. That doesn't indicate that they're 100% not neutral killing, but it also kind of lessens the pressure on them to a degree. So now I'm looking at the chat a little bit and seeing who maybe do I feel is suspicious and I maybe would like to block, because that is my job, of course, is to try to limit the amount of damage that can be done by the evils and avoiding blocking any sort of neutral or any sort of TI particularly. So I decided to block Tonic. Tonic was one of the persons who actually voted guilty on the escort claim, which I thought was an interesting claim. And not particularly, they didn't seem guilty necessarily, they didn't seem innocent. Unfortunately, they were jailed. So that kind of defeats the purpose of what I was doing. Now, Mojake was killed by Mafia as well as by Serial Killer. And Serial Killer is interesting because Serial Killer kind of says, well, that Doctor claim's a little bit less likely now. And Mojake's role was Doctor. Alright, now Bitcoin looks bad. Because now Bitcoin is claiming Random Town Doctor who was attacked and self-healed. Yeah, that seems suspicious. It really seems suspicious right here. Altair says Bitcoin is SK, and that does appear to be the case. Now pay attention to what they said here though, because that might actually have something later on that happens that might indicate what they might be, what role they might be. So keep that in mind. And in hindsight is always 20/20, of course, but we do have a Doctor dead now, and it does feel like Bitcoin very well might be SK. Bitcoin's asking for somebody else's will, which I think is interesting because Bitcoin just seems to be, why are you trying to take the pressure off yourself? And there's other people that are saying Sam Paris, I think, is claiming that they found a Mafia as well. And although I'm not sure exactly, I don't remember who it is that they think that they found. But either way, the correct choice right now is to kill SK because that lowers the amount of deaths per night. It's not to kill the Mafia. We still have voting majority even with the neutral evil if we kill SK tonight. So, my point is that today, you kill SK so there's only one death per night from now on. And then you try to get between the potentially escorts and jailer, you try to lower the amount of potential deaths that you see every night. So, Betty Paris says there isn't any more room for another TP according to claims. I don't know about that. There's a lot of unconfirmed RT claims and stuff like that. Betty Paris seems a little bit suspicious to me for that. But I don't believe that this is actually a Doctor. I feel like there's too much coincidences for this to be a Doctor. SK's in the game, which is a Doctor claim, or they often fake claim Doctor. Bitcoin claimed that they were attacked and healed on the second night. And they self-healed. I'm not so sure about that. So, the guilties have it. And Sam Paris says, George is consigliere, which is possible, and then says, I'm dead. George says, I'm invest. Well, that would be what a consig would claim. Altier says, Sam is definitely executioner. And Betty says, Sam, what role are you? Which he didn't really actually claim either, and that he sounds like potentially a jester. So Betty Paris says that Sam sounds like a jester. Altier says that we think he's executioner. And George is the person that he kind of got pushed against, or that he had pushed against. So there are some movements here where Sam Paris seems to be on one side, and, it seems like George, Betty, and Altier may be on the other side of whatever side Sam Paris is on. It's interesting to think this, because now you have to keep an eye out, does he die, does he not die? I decided to go ahead and block Rabbit. I can't remember right now, honestly, off the top of my head. I think Rabbit claimed, or Rabbit was quiet, I think is why I decided to kill to block them. Now, Betty Paris is dead. And Betty Paris is one of the groups that was kind of pushing against Sam Paris. And killed by a veteran. Oh. Okay, so I wonder what their will is, what their role is. Mafioso. Interesting. So I did try to block Rabbit last night, but Rabbit was jailed. And so that definitely makes me, it's a bit of a bummer. It should, in theory, help me prove myself. Maybe not as... I'm either a consort or an escort at that point. There's nothing else that I could possibly be. But even then, that was already known, primarily. So Datboy claims vet, is what Datboy claims. TK CCs are immediately suspicious. So Altier says that, there's a CC for vet. Any CCs are probably suspicious. So I'm not sure exactly what Altier is trying to do other than just kind of feel towny. Samuel Paris says hang George and jail Altier. And at this point, I'm like, Sam is interesting. He might be an executioner. Could be a jest. Tonic here claims medium. And Rabbit says Tonic is lying. Because Sam, Rabbit, and Tonic are both claiming medium. Alright, so we have to vote up one of them because they said that the other one's lying. And in theory, if you're medium, one of the first things you should do is figure out if there's a medium in dead chat. It's one of the first things you want to do. So Tonic says, I'm medium. Ugh. And they might be. They might be medium. They really could be. But the key is there's two people claiming medium, and both of them are saying that they don't believe that there's another medium. Well, if that's the case, one of them is probably evil. And you have to kill one of them. The good news is Town has supermajority. And so we can afford, as long as Jailer's still alive, to go ahead and push on this and get this execution done. So, yeah, I say we guilty this. And I say, if this is a no, get Rabbit, is what I say to the Jailer, which is entirely true. That's what you pretty much want to do. Altier voted innocent, and No Name abstained. Everyone else guilty. This doesn't necessarily mean anything. Tonic says Jester wins. Ah, man. Nicely played. Nicely played by the Jester there. Alright, so there's no reason to necessarily suspect that the other medium claim is fake. It could be fake. Rabbit could be fake claiming a medium claim. But this was in fact a Jester. Well, Sam is an X. That's what we know. That's the point of this that I got. I took away from this, well played Jester play. That was good. Altier voted innocent, which is weird. Because Tonic really seemed Mafia. And Altier voted innocent. Altier would only have known to vote innocent, and No Name abstain. You would only know, you would have to think at that point, well listen, if the guy that he's claiming against is probably medium, and this guy is probably not medium, but he's not one of us, he might be Jester. So my gut feeling is that Altier may actually be evil here, and that's why I'm going to block Altier tonight. I want to see if we can potentially stop a Mafia kill. So the block on Altier goes out, and Tonic, the Jester, is dead. So Tonic Jester will be killing today. George, likely killed by Tonic. Could also be killed by Mafia, though. But George here is dead. I don't remember what George, was like fake claiming or real claiming that night. It didn't seem like he was particularly talkative. But I'm going to go ahead and copy and get ready to push on the fact that this isn't, that this is what I choose. Luckily for us, George, who was picked out by Sam, is in fact the consig. Altier, wow, I was rolled black twice. Jeez. And Sam Paris says, who is the Jailer? Let's hang Altier. Night 5, Altier. Who was jailed last night? No kills. Altier is trying to push against the fact that he was roadblocked and there was no kills. So, I said Sam pushed on George. Because Arsonist says Sam claimed Invest. And Arsonist here is kind of soft claiming a Jailer kind of style, I guess. It's a little bit weird to be claiming that outright, but that seems to be what he's doing. And I say, Sam pushed on Consig, on George, and call him Consig. I doubt Sam's evil, honestly. I bet Sam's actually investigator here. And he was pushing on Altier. Altier was double roadblocked last night, which indicates that if that's the case, there is 2 escorts and not 2 consorts. If Altier ends up being evil, the likelihood is that there's 2 escorts, not that there's an escort and a consort. So Altier does get voted up. Nonama, Bob, Rabbit, Light Lady, myself, all voted against Altier. Although Nonama did push against me originally, which is an interesting thing. Town, terrible idea. Altier, the bodyguard. I'm dead now. Arsonist is probably Jailer. That does sound good, but I say you're dead because you're Godfather. Because at this point, I'm like, this is too suspicious. You voted innocent on the Jester. You were double roadblocked. There was no kills. You were linked with George by our investigator, who's pretty much confirmed at this point. No Nama says, you tried to dismiss Sam's claim and push for my lynch. Dat Boy says, I say Inno. Okay. And my gut feeling is like, all right, this person's Godfather. Dat Boy innocented. Let's roadblock Dat Boy, right? Well, unfortunately, I forgot the fact that Dat Boy is actually a confirmed veteran at this point. And so I do say other escort. We both block a Dat Boy. Yes? And because I had forgotten that he was actually supposedly well, he was in fact a confirmed veteran. So I say that, and Sam Paris or Rabbit says he's confirmed vet. Don't. You're right, Rabbit. Thank you very much for saying that. Rabbit's kind of towned in my mind now, because Rabbit stopped me from potentially visiting a vet. I don't think Mafia would do that. So at this point, it's like we're looking real solid right here, and this is where we start to be able to find some good lessons we can learn. We're able to use our logic with voting, as well as Sam Paris's pushes, to find the Godfather. And at this point, it's like, all right, let's see what else we may be able to find. No Name seemed a little bit on the middle ground for me, and so potentially a person who didn't seem as towny as others, where No Nama claimed escort, and I believe they are actually probably escorts. So No Nama is dead. And this is interesting. I was like, all right, No Nama was killed by Mafia then, right? So I must have missed it. Nope. No Nama executed by the jailer. Okay. This was the escort claim. I'm useless until GF or Mafioso dies. No Nama, the escort. So at this point, I was like, all right, well, Jailer killed the escort for really no reason, because we both blocked Atier, who was the Godfather. So that would indicate that both escort claims are probably actual escorts and not consorts. So I say Dat Boy is vet, because somebody pushed on Dat Boy. Sam Paris asked Dat Boy what their role was, and they were pretty much confirmed vet. So Arsonist is kind of pushing on me, saying that I claimed escort, which is true. I did claim escort. And so I post my full will, because I think it's important at this point to post the full will. We're both escort, is what I say at this point. And it seems to me, at least, that No Name is actually our last Mafia, because there were no Mafia kills, and that's who I blocked. So I say that I think it's No Name. I go ahead, hit the vote button, and start the push on No Name. Rabbit also pushes, Sam Paris pushes, and Bob also pushes. No Name voted on me, which is reasonable for No Name to do, since I am the one that's leading the charge against them. They claim Lookout, and Lookout is my favorite evil claim. I am Lookout. Anyway, get to tomorrow. So I go ahead and I'm like, you know what? We have so much town majority. We can do this a different way. We don't have to lynch this. I say if you want, we can inno, and I can block again. As long as Jailer doesn't... Well, I was going to say as long as Jailer doesn't jail me. Sam Paris now, who's our investigator, says, it's Lady. Why in the world would so I'm guilty at first, because I'm pretty sure this guy is actually evil. He gave up and said, anyway, F me. But I go ahead and I change it to innocent, because I'm like, you know what? We have the majority here. I'm pretty sure we can actually go ahead and get this killed. So No Name votes against me. I say vote me up, LOL. Because at this point, that's like, I don't mind. I can go ahead and defend myself here. This is the lesson that I was talking about. So this is how I suggest people actually go ahead and defend when they're on stand. I post my will, as I have to, and say I'm escort, still escort. The best thing for a town to do here, and this is truthful too, is to inno and either let me block No Name again, or let Jailer get No Name. So that's what I'm saying here. And Rabbit agrees with me. Let escort block No Name again tonight, maybe, see what happens. And No Name actually makes a little bit of a boo-boo here and says, in reality, I was roadblocked. And they were. No Name was roadblocked, which means I am escort. Because Consort would have switched. Which is all true. No Name says gonna abstain. At this point, No Name in my book is 100% evil. Sam Paris, the investigator, and Arsonist, the jailer, both vote guilty. So I say Sam is invest, Arsonist is jailer. Let me block tonight. Arsonist, who is the jailer, asks one for their will and starts a vote against them. Guys, pay attention, especially when you're in an important role like the jailer. It was literally impossible for me to have blocked No Name and be consort. It's not possible. So why Sam Paris, the investigator, who's done a decent job up to now, and the jailer, who has not really done a decent job paying attention to this game, why they decided to guilty me, I don't know. But I'm just glad that Talon actually went ahead and innoed for the most part. Enough Talon at least to get me off the stand. Of course, I'm going to block No Name again tonight. Now, we have a super majority, and if we were closer to not being majority, I would have voted guilty on No Name, because I did believe, truthfully, that they seemed quite guilty indeed. But there was no necessary reason to, because there was no actual push for us to make a kill that day. It was pretty much benign whether or not we did or didn't. So I go ahead and block No Name again and post it immediately in the chat, since I am in fact the escort. And No Name says, why me again? Okay, jailer says, okay, let's hang two. What? Why? What in the world are you talking about, jailer? Sam Paris says, okay, it's clear. I did check on Lady. He is clear. So Sam Paris here, in all caps, clears me as not being an evil role. So, and then Arsonist still is saying, if there isn't killed Moff, it is a consort. What? Arsonist. I can't be consort. If I was Mafia, I'd be Mafioso, you dummy. Jeez, man. And I also asked Bob for their name because Bob's been really quiet. So I kind of wanted to make sure that I don't think I even knew what Bob's role was at this point. Everybody else's role I know. Dat Boy Vet, myself Escort, Sam Paris claims Invest, No Name claims Lookout, Arsonist is supposedly the jailer, Rabbit is the medium who's been voting against Mafia, so I do kind of trust him. Bob I don't know. And Six, of course, I've blocked and has been so far not doing anything. Guilty me and end this, but execute too. Or the last Moff is what he tries to say. And I say, if it's not you, it's Bob. And it's as simple as that. And actually, jailer doesn't have an execute left because they killed the escort. So even if this ends up being innocent, being the lookout, right? And I get jailed tonight, we're still gonna win this game because I'm gonna, jailer may die or not, but there'll be a Mafia kill while I'm in jail. And Bob is the only other person that has a counterclaim to anything. And so there you go. The guilties have it. Well, GF made mistakes, possibly. Picking, they may have. But we also had a pretty solid game with a little bit lucky because Betty Paris, died to the veteran, which was nice, and George died to the jester. So Town got a little bit lucky here. This could have been worse. Alrighty, well, that was pretty cool right there. I think that we had a pretty nice game. We're back in the post commentary. Congratulations. Very nice, solid Town win. I think that was just really well played and good blocks on our side by the escorts and well played at the end there, I think, as well. Whew, that jailer got me really, really ridiculously upset though. That jailer was just not particularly good. Didn't pay much attention at all, really. Anyway, that was that game, guys. We are up to 13 wins, 5 losses, 13-21 right now. We're getting slowly closer to the ranked gold, which I do hope to get to. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.